Hey guys, I'm back in the studio, got a new camera up and running, but I'm here to rant about some stuff today, because lately when I've been online, everywhere on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and wherever, people always talking about tone and chasing tone. Use this and use that, you need to have this brand, you need to have that, you need to connect it to this, blah, 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 blah. You have to sound like, everybody's trying to sound like everybody else. Learn about different gears. Learn about what they can do, not what brands can do. I mean, don't get me wrong, brands matter to some extent, but gears is much, much more important. What kind of gear is much more important. Like if you take guitars, for an instance, all you need to know is there's a humbucker and there's a single coil, and then you learn what they do, and then you find a guitar that sounds good to you, that feels good to you. And for example of this is, I seen a video clip with Yngve Malmsteen. I mean, he has a really different kind of guitar sounds. There is sounds, I mean, he's famous for using the Strat, but there's some clip with him using the Les Paul, and it still sounds like Yngve. I mean, he's probably having a little bit more hard time to get his own sound when he's playing a Les Paul, but it still sounds like Yngve. So learn about stuff. Learn the difference between a humbucker and a single coil. It doesn't matter if you want to have a humbucker. It doesn't matter if you're playing a Les Paul or a Flying V. They're still gonna have pretty much the same sound. You're gonna feel different when you're playing it, but it still has the same kind of sound. But you don't need to sound like everybody else. Just find your own sound. When it comes to amplifiers, guitar amplifiers, there's not that much to choose from. You choose a tube amp. You choose a solid state amp, or you choose like some hybrid kind of stuff, or a Kemper or something like that. And you make the most out of it to make it sound like you want to sound in your own head. Stop trying to sound like everybody else. I'm just tired of it. And when it comes to microphone, when you're going to record, the most important thing is not to have a special brand. You need to know about dynamic microphones and active microphones. You need to know about large and small diaphragm condenser. You need to learn about cardioid and omni and figure of 8, when to use it, how to use it. Those are the things that you need to find out. I mean, an SM57 and an MD421 sounds not exactly the same, but they're doing pretty much the same thing. Does it matter which one you use? No, probably not. They will sound a little bit different, but get what you want and get what you can afford. But in this case, you probably should use both an SM57 and an MD421, because when you put them together and stuck it into a guitar amp, it will sound great. But I mean, the gear that you're using is not what's gonna break or make your record. It's not. It's not gonna do that. And when it comes to preamps, the first that comes to mind, never mind. You probably don't need a preamp. The preamps that you have in your interface is probably good enough. There's probably nothing wrong with that. However, it can be a little bit clean. So if you're gonna get like a channel strip, I would say, that either has transformers in it or tubes, because that would make it sound a little bit dirtier and a little bit fatter. And I'm not talking about the brand. You don't need a specific brand. You need to have tubes and transformers. That's what you need, not the brand. And when it comes to EQ, get a passive EQ. I mean, active EQs can sound great. This console, for instance, have active EQs. This is a Yamaha PM 3500. It's kind of in the same ballpark as an SSL. Don't sound like an SSL, but it's in that ballpark. But I would say, if you're gonna spend money on EQs, then get passive EQ, and that means inductor based EQs, like a Neve style or an API style or a Pultec style. Now, the thing here is that I'm not saying a Neve, I'm saying a Neve style, because there are hundreds of EQs out there that's using inductors. And that's the really important thing here if you want to have a good sounding analog EQ. get a passive EQ, because that will make your music much more fatter, and it will sound really good, and it will be different from the plugins that you're using. I don't care if you have a Neve clone plugin in your DAW. It will not sound like an analog inductor EQ. It will not. It will sound good, and it will behave a little bit like the same. The curves will be the same, but it will not sound the same. And next up is the compressors. I mean, the brand is not that important. The most important thing is that you know what an optical compressor is, what a FET compressor is, what a VCA compressor is, and what a Behringer compressor is. I mean, an optical compressor is actually a light that's turned on when the source gets too loud, and it brings it down. A FET compressor is a field-effective transistor that's super fast, like an 1176, and it brings it down super fast, and it gives a special flavor to whatever you're recording. A VCA can be both fast and slow, but it's perhaps a little bit more clean, like the DBX 160 or the SSL compressor. Behringer is a tube compressor where the actual gain reduction happenings in the tubes. But you need to know how they work and where it can be good to use it and what kind of sounds you want. Still, don't chase brands. Get what you can afford and learn where to use it and how to use it, and make your own sounds. I have cheap compressors, I have expensive compressors. They all sound good. Gears matters, but brands don't matter that much. I mean, there are brands out there that's better than most of the others, but it's not, you don't need that, because even the cheap brands or the affordable brands is good enough. I'm telling you, go out there, get your own sound, stop following everybody else, do your thing. Do what you think sounds great. We don't need anything that sounds like it did in the past. We need something to sound new and fresh. Be the next century producer. Make it happen. Goodbye. Until next time, please hit the like button, please subscribe. Mwah.